Hello, welcome back to my channel at Peppy Stitches. In our former tutorial, we were able to make part of a nightwear, which is a singlet. As you can see, our singlet is ready. So now the next thing we are going to do is to cut and sew the down part, which is the bossa. Okay, so this is our singlet. So in today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to cut a bossa. So the material we're going to use include the French curve, the tape, the ruler, the scissors. We're going to use pen instead of chalk today because we're going to draft it direct on the cardboard sheet, so we don't need tailor chalk to mark it. So let's start with the measurement. This is the material we're going to use. That's the one I cut out from the singlet. That's the remaining parts, so we'll use it for the down part, which is the boxer. Okay, so let's go to the measurements. So the measurements we are going to use, the waist measurement is 36, and you know waist measurement is divided by 4. So 36 divided by 4, this is 36 divided by 4. I hope you know how to divide it. You cut it like this, then you fold it again. So what we have now is what? 9. So 36 divided by 4 is what? 9. Then you add extra 2 inches for the allowance, and also for the elastic also. So when you add the extra 2 inches, you now have 11. Okay, that's 11 inches. Then the full length is 14. Okay, 14 plus 3, we are going to add extra 3 inches. Okay, for the allowance, that is 2 for the band, that's the up part, then 1 inch for the down part, that's one you use to fold the down part. Okay, then the lap we are going to use is 25 inches. The lap is divided by 2, so when you divide 25 by 2, you will have 12.5 inches. Then the crotch depth we are going to use is just the waist measurement plus 3. That's how to get the crotch depth. Okay, so when you add, well, the waist measurement is already 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. So the crotch depth we are going to use is 12. Okay, then while cutting the back, you have to add extra 1.5 inch or 2 inches, depends on your preference. So let's start with the measurements. So the first thing we are going to measure is the waist measurement, and you know the total waist measurement we are working with is 11 inches. Okay, 11 inches. So just mark 11 inches. Yeah, 11 inches. Then the full length is 17 inches. You remember the full length is supposed to be 14, but once you add the 3 inches for hemming, that's for the up part and down part, you have 17 inches, which is here. Okay, so this is our full length. Let me mark it. This is our full length. So guys, this is the 17 inches. Okay, and then this is the 1 inch for the hemming allowance. So let me make it bold so that you understand what I'm doing. So our full length is what? 17 inches. Okay, so this is 14 inches added extra 3 inches. Okay, so our full length is 14 inches, but you add extra 1 inch for the down part, then extra 2 inches for the upper part. That's why you have 17 inches, but the actual length for this boxer is 14 inches. Hope you understand what I'm doing. Okay, so having gotten the full length, so the next thing we are going to measure now is the lap. Okay, our lap is what, 12.5. So you start from here, from this edge, you measure 12.5. This is 12.5. Okay, then the crash depth is, remember what I said, for you to get the crash depth is just the waist measurement plus 3. So our waist measurement is what, 9. 9 plus 3 is what, 12. So our crash depth is what, 12, and this is 12. Okay, this is our crash depth. So sorry, let me take off the 2 inches so that it will not confuse us here. Okay, that is the 2 inches for hemming allowance. Let me take it off, because when you are taking the measurement, you don't need to include it. It's not included at all. So let me take it off, the 2 inches for hemming allowance. I hope you are following. So you are free to ask your question in case it's not clear. Okay, if it's not clear, you can ask your question in the suggestion box. And ask your question in the suggestion box. Okay, so I folded the 2 inches for the hemming allowance and for the elastic. Okay, so let's take the crash measurement, that's the crash depth, and we say is what, 12. So the 12 inches is here. So this is the 12 inches for the depth. Okay, so now the next thing we are going to do is to draw a straight line. Let's draw a straight line. Draw a straight line. Okay, when you draw a straight line, then mark also the waist measurements. Our waist measurement is 11 inches. Okay, also mark it here. So this is 11 inches. Then draw a straight line. Just connect it from the one you did before. Draw a straight line. When you draw a straight line, then mark extra 2 inches. Extra 2 inches for the crash curve. This is 2 inches. Okay, for the crash curve. Okay, then make a curve. It's just a little curve here. You can use your free hand, you can use French curve. Okay, so this is the crash curve. I hope you are following. Okay, but for male boxers, you can add extra 1.5 inch. When you add extra 1.5 inch, you curve it out, but we are not making male boxers. That is where you normally see that crash cover, that is the flap cover. they normally put a kind of hole, but we're not making that one. We are making a simple boxers for female. Okay, so having done this, you can now trace it. Okay, from here you can now connect, connect it to your down part. Okay, so this is our boxers. So the next thing is to cut it out, then place it on your fabric. So guys, we are going to cut the pattern. We are going to cut it out so that we can place it on our fabric. You know, this one I did not fold it at all, so when placing it on your fabric it must be folded. Okay, because you cut the front panel first before the back panel, so you fold it into two. Okay, you fold it into two. So when you are cutting it, you have to unfold the allowance. So let me cut out the excess. So this is exactly what we are going to place on our fabric to measure. I hope you understand. So guys, as you can see, I've folded the fabric into two. Okay, so the next thing now is to cut out the front panel. So when I finish cutting it out, I'll now place it on the fabric to cut the back panel. Remember, I'm cutting out both the allowance, everything, cutting all of them together. So as you can see, I've added the extra 1 inch. So this is the front panel, this is the back panel. I just added extra 1.5 inches. Okay, so now I can use it to cut out the back panel. To make sure that it's straight. Can now use the front panel to cut the back. I hope you understand what I'm doing. Can't you see, it's very simple. Once you make the pattern, it will be very easy for you to do the remaining one. Okay, just place the pattern, cut it out. So guys, as you can see, I've finished cutting the front panel and the back panel. So this is the front panel, this is the back panel. So what we're going to do now is to go straight to our sewing machine and join them. Okay, but before then, we are going to cut out this part. Okay, we are going to open this part. You know, when you're sewing trouser, you need to make a kind of curve here, but you know, this thing is just boxers. Okay, just a kind of inner wear, or just a night wear. You don't need to design it. It has to be free so that air will enter in your body. So you don't need to shapen it. That's why I didn't bother to make any curve anyway. So it has to be straight, both the front and the back panel. It has to be straight, no curve anywhere. So this is the simplest way to sew the boxers. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do now is to join this front panel. Sew it from here to this crash ending. Okay, when you join it, then you join the back. Okay, before you now join the side part. So let's go to our sewing machine.